Hi, this is Dr. Christopher Hobbs, and today I want to talk about reishi mushrooms for a minute. And reishi is one, if not the most popular medicinal mushroom on the market, has been known for centuries and centuries as a spirit mushroom, as a divine mushroom. So people thought a lot of it, obviously. And I do too. I've used it in my clinic practice, and I use it personally for protecting myself during cold and flu season to prevent infections, and it just worked magnificently. And so many people reported excellent results in my clinical practice. There are many types of reishi mushrooms. It's from the genus in the fungal kingdom Ganoderma, which means shiny skin, and I'll show you why it's called shiny skin. Here's one reishi, and you can see the luster on the top of the mushroom. The bottom has pores where the spores are produced. This is one species of mushroom that I got in a traditional Chinese herbal shop. I've seen maybe up to 10 to 12 different species in Chinese herb shops. The one that was mainly used by the ancients was called Ganoderma. Lingzhi is the Chinese name for reishi. Of course, my pronunciation isn't all that great, but something along those lines. And this is a cultivation block, and you can see these reishi fruiting bodies here, which have this dusty color on the top. The spores were produced and maybe fell on the top here, so it took the luster off. But we think this is probably the Ganoderma species, or the reishi species, that was used by the ancients. Lately, there's been a lot of molecular work done comparing DNA sequences, and so we think this is the one that maybe was the most popular. Another really popular reishi-like mushroom, which is what I call them, because really there are, if you buy reishi on the market, you don't know exactly what species you're getting unless it's guaranteed by the manufacturer, possibly. This is another reishi species that is widely used. This is Ganoderma sichuanense, so it must be from the southern part or Sichuan province in China. It's a very big one. It's very round like this, as you'll see. And this one was cultivated. They cultivated on logs or blocks, maybe half buried logs, or they have different cultivation techniques in China. And this one here were cultivated in the U.S. organically. So you can find reishi that are cultivated organically. You can buy the dried fruiting bodies. You can buy a block and grow your own, for that matter. Here's a black reishi. This one I found in the Chinese herb shop. This is used mainly for kidney, adrenal types of issues, whereas the more reddish reishi is often thought of for the nervous system, like calming, anxiety, maybe promoting a healthier, calmer sleep, for instance. Also used for chronic respiratory tract conditions like asthma or chronic allergic rhinitis. I've had a lot of luck with reishi for those types of conditions as well. And here, so you've got the black one. Here's another one that's quite interesting. I don't know what species this is, but there are quite a few out there. And in the United States, there might be 10 or 15 fairly common reishi-like mushrooms that grow in different parts of the country. There is Resinaceum, which is very short and grows on maple roots, for instance. I've seen it. There's Ganoderma oregonense, which grows up in Oregon and Washington and Canada along the coast, maybe a few other places. And then there's Ganoderma tsugae, Tsugae, which you can find growing on the East Coast on hemlock trees. Tsugae meaning is a Latin name that designates hemlock. So you'll see it on dying or dead hemlocks, Ganoderma tsugae. Those are gorgeous mushrooms. And then on the West Coast, we have very large, fat Ganoderma tsugae mushrooms that grow on hemlocks that have been killed by lightning, something like that. And they get very big. And you can actually, when it's tender on the edge, I just found one the other day up in the High Sierra, you can take little pieces of it off and actually taste it and eat it. Don't eat too much of it. It's strong, but it actually doesn't taste bad at all. Rather sweet, a little bit bitter. And the ancients thought that by eating a fresh reishi, if you found a fresh one that had some very young tissue on it, that if you ate that, you would be in the same area, in the same camp with the immortals, that maybe you would be like an immortal. There is writings like that in ancient China, in the Pen Cao, which is the main Chinese herb book from 400 years ago or more. Again, there are lots of different species, but the main one to look for is this one, Ganoderma lingere. It's also used to be called Ganoderma lucidum, which now we know it's not that. Ganoderma lucidum is a species that only grows in Europe. So that one is, you're not going to really find that one too much growing in this country, if at all, or in products for that matter. Many types of reishi, but probably they all have very similar activity and benefits. There's so many wonderful benefits to reishi. They really have become, over the years, my favorite medicinal mushroom because they have such a wide range of effects. And especially for me, I find it, if I use it regularly, it's so calming. It chills me out, and also it helps prevent colds and flus during cold and flu season. The last 3 or 4 years, when I use it daily, I have not had one cold or flu, and I just really love that effect of it. I don't like getting sick that much, even though maybe once in a while it's okay. But I'll pass and I'll just take my reishi. Thanks for watching today, and hope to see you in another video soon. Bye for now.